Well, thank you, Michael. After that explanation, I think the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is coming back and eating whatever it is that you create, and I know the kids are going to enjoy that. So, as Michael said, I'm Andy Galvin, and while I'm not a teacher here at St. Ambrose, I have four kids that are going here currently. And last year, as he said, we taught a class on ornithology for the sixth graders and had really just a great experience. In addition to all of the academic things that we're trying to do here in this summer skills workshop, I think one of the other benefits that I should mention is just, especially for the younger kids at the sixth grade level, new coming into the school, brand new, and not having had the experience of being at St. Ambrose before. I think one of the great benefits was the opportunity for all of them to get to know each other, to feel more comfortable with one another as they were beginning to enter into St. Ambrose in the fall. So that was a really good thing that I wanted to mention as well. For me, a little bit of my background, I have a master's degree in conservation biology and natural resource management. I spent 8 years working for the endangered resources program at the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources. And so it's great fun for me to be able to come back and apply some of those skills that I have, especially for the kids. We had a really great time last year doing some field work and applying some of the academic skills that we were trying to teach the kids in the field in the context of a whole lot of fun and being out there and fighting the bugs and all those things that we had to do in the field. So as was mentioned, this year what we want to look at is, I would say, forest ecology and dendrology. We're going to really focus on three primary things. The first is going to be tree identification and understanding the species of trees that we find here in southern Wisconsin. A combination of the native trees that are here in southern Wisconsin, as well as some of the non-native species that have been brought in since settlement of the last few hundred years. We also want to look at those trees within the context of where do they live and where do you find them. And then thirdly, look at the broader landscape in which we find those habitats and the vegetation that live within them. So those three things I think will be very good. Trees, I think we're going to get to about 25 trees that are here in southwestern or southern Wisconsin. If you're curious about what trees are on your property, your kids will be able to identify them by the end of our 3 weeks here. The habitats. Southwest Wisconsin has got a variety of habitat. Some very unique habitat that we're going to be looking at. Where do trees fall within that? So that as kids go around to different parks and different places around this area, they'll get a sense of the landscapes and the landforms and the habitats within them. So the third one then is those ecosystems. What are the landforms? What developed those landforms over the geological time of the state of Wisconsin? So hopefully by looking at all of those things, not only will they get a good natural resource education of the place in which we live. I can't help but think of the Music Man and you got to know your territory. And that's going to be a lot of what we'll talk about in addition to just identifying trees and how to do that. So we'll learn a number of skills. Going out into the field, I remember the first time we did that last year with all the kids and them all walking out in their shorts and flip-flops and wondering why that was such a big deal. After the first few hundred bug bites, they began to realize that long pants and hard shoes would be a good idea. So we'll do some of the basic skills of just knowing what they're getting into and how do they prepare for that. What are the different things they need to be thinking about with regard to being in the field. And many other organizational skills to help us through that. And I think we'll also talk a little bit about some of the conservation skills and techniques that are there for forest ecology and for ecology in general. We'll talk a little bit about tree production and some of the history of natural resources and trees within our country, which is quite unique. And so looking at it back from trees being the major produce of this country when we first started 200-300 years ago, and what role does it play now as that changes increasingly into our future. So many different things like that. I'm very much looking forward to it, and very much looking forward to spending time with all of the kids and helping them learn some great skills that will certainly be of benefit to them as they launch into their St. Ambrose time here at the school.